You can already hear the birds. Hey everyone, so a bit of a different video today. Now, normally what I do is I film my videos on Thursday, but today is Wednesday and I have to go to Seattle for the night, so I figured maybe I would just make my video about that. It is 5 a.m. right now and I'm hoping to cross the border by about 10, so let's see if that works out. You know how I said a while ago that I got hired to work at National Review as a columnist? Well, they are having some manner of big get-together in Seattle tonight, and they invited me to come, so that's where I'm going. So the way you go to Seattle, or at least the way I go to Seattle, is by taking the train to Richmond, and then from Richmond you take a private shuttle bus that crosses over the US-Canadian border and brings you right to downtown Seattle. It takes about, I don't know, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. Oh ho, breaking news from CNN. I see they are saying that Paul Ryan isn't going to run for re-election. That's a pretty big deal.
The next station is Richmond Brighouse.
Okay, we made it to Richmond. Now we go to the bus station here, which is located in the fabulous Richmond Casino.
Everyone likes to have fun at the casino, but big government says you should also know your limit and play within it.
The reason I always take the bus when I cross the border is because I don't have a car and I hate driving anyway. Gotta fill out the customs form. We are now approaching the border crossing station. I cannot film while I'm in there, so I'll reconnect with you after we go through customs. I got my passport and my customs declaration all ready to go, so I'll see you soon. So if you've never crossed the border in a bus before, the way it works is that they drop you off at this little building, and the building inside of it is the official border crossing point, and it's sort of like a security clearance at an airport. You know, you have to go through the metal detector and put your bags on a conveyor belt and this kind of thing. And then you have a little chat with the border guy. He asks you where you're going, what you're doing. You show him your passport, you hand in your declaration form, and then if your story checks out, they wave you through, which is what happened with me. And now that we are officially in the US, there's nothing left to do but just sit back until we arrive in Seattle. Well, here I am in downtown Seattle, and I suppose I could have probably scheduled this a little bit better, seeing as how there are now about 6 hours until I can check into my hotel, and 9 hours until the event begins, so I guess I'll have to amuse myself for a while. Now, despite having lived my entire life next door to Seattle, I actually haven't spent that much time in this city. Usually I only come to visit comic shows or use the airport, but luckily I have purchased this charming children's coloring book that purports to be full of fun Seattle activities, so I think I will follow along. I mean, just look at how much fun the kids on the cover are having.
Okay, so we've got a great wheel, giant piggy bank, gum wall, the monorail, Space Needle, Fremont Troll, Fish Market where they throw fish at you, Mount Rainier, Chief Seattle.
We will see if we can see at least a couple of those things. Here is the famous Seattle Public Market sign, and I know it is famous because the Europeans are taking selfies in front of it. So here is a fish market inside of the public market. I don't know if it's the fish market from the coloring book. As you can see, they have a huge selection of random creatures from the sea that you can buy, so I guess that's kind of cool. You see, they also have this rather bossy sign, you touch, you buy. No kid, don't do it, don't do it. This is a nicer fish market. Their sign says, we love you. Oh, and look at this guy. He's getting ready. Oh, I bet he's the fish thrower. Look at him, he's stretching. He is gonna do something. Come on. Throw the fish. Come on. Come on. Throw the fish. This is taking too long. Yeah, these kids have the right idea. Oh, this is a cool store. Look at this. They got all these presidential buttons and stuff from all the old elections. Oh, and here is the giant piggy bank. The little kids are putting all of their pennies into it. It's pretty cool. Big metallic beast. And the money that you put in it helps change lives, says the sign, because you support the Pike Place Market Foundation. So, it's not just a pretty face. Now here is the fabulous gum wall, which delivers exactly what it promises. It is a wall that is covered with pieces of chewed up gum.
So yeah, very colorful, very appetizing, and it just keeps going and going.
I guess it makes a sort of cool backdrop for your selfies.
This guy certainly thinks it will make a cool backdrop for this cheerleader he's photographing. Wow, look at all the liquor you can buy at Walgreens. You can't do that in British Columbia. All right, and now we are at the monorail.
Monorail, monorail, monorail.
Here it goes. Well, that was the trip. We are now a few blocks deeper into Seattle. It's worth $2.50, I would say. And check this out, look. It's Monorail Man.
So it says Monorail Man was built with about $15 of scrap metal, yet his artistic value is incalculable.
I was wandering around for a little bit looking for the Space Needle, but I don't know about going in it though. I mean, I've been in a lot of these kinds of things over the years. A lot of big cities have their Space Needle-y thing, some sort of tall structure that you pay a lot of money to go up in, and you know, you get to look at buildings from on high. It's kind of the same no matter what city it is you're in.
It's $22. I guess it's not that bad.
We are headed up at 10 miles an hour.
Man, everything is under construction up here. Maybe that's why it was so cheap. And see, this is what I mean. It's like you can look at the skyline. It's nice, I guess. But you know, buildings is buildings.
Do you have any questions on the way down?
Oh, I see there is some sort of Space Needle monster too. Even more than one, it seems. Oh, come on. Man, I'm getting sick of doing tourist things. I just want to go to Jimmy John's. We don't have any Jimmy John's where I come from, but it is by far my favorite American fast food place. Don't know why I'm so into them.
Oh man, candy store. I gotta go there. What? Hey, look at this. They have Kinder Surprise eggs here. I always thought that those were not allowed in the States. Oh, I see. Theirs are kind of different. It's like the toy is kept in a separate plastic compartment instead of being mixed in with the chocolate.
It's really starting to rain now. I'm gonna see if I can get into the hotel. Man, I love staying in hotels. It makes me feel like such an adult. I just love how in the hotel everything is so generic and bland and sterile. They have like reduced human living down to its barest essence. Generic lamp, generic microwave, generic TV, generic bed, generic air conditioner, generic toiletries. And what I like best about hotels is that you can just hang out and watch Teen Titans Go until something more important has to be done.
I realized why it's so quiet. Cyborg is missing!
And now it is finally time for me to go to the National Review thing. Why did I come here again? Well, that was it. A good time was had by all. It was basically a sort of intimate little meeting of a bunch of various National Review supporters and contributors. We had a good conversation. One of the editors, Charles Cook, was there. He shared a lot of thoughts. He had a good interview with a local radio personality here in Seattle. You know, I didn't film any of it. I didn't bring my phone in there with me because, you know, I think that there are some aspects, some parts of life that are best kept intimate, kept private. Sometimes it's good to just enjoy the moment and not feel the need to obsessively record everything, not put everything on social media, not put everything on YouTube. So apologies to anyone who is disappointed that they didn't get to see the ultimate endpoint of my big trip to Seattle. But you know, sometimes it is more about the journey than the destination.